got officially podcast number 9 in the books with Dave Castillo. Welcome, brother.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Good, man. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's always good to see you, man. So
I
it's
know.
been some time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, and like we were just saying before we started here, that at the end of the day, we're doing a nice catch up, anyways. I haven't chatted with you in a while, so it's good shit.
No, I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother. Well, let's hop right into it. So,
Sure.
Who was Dave as a child? Let's go back to before you even really, start your journey and all that stuff. Public school. Where are you at?
Public school. So, dude, actually, I went to a private school.
Okay.
Until grade 5. So grade 6 is when I started at a public school. I was like literally across the street from my house. But it was this. So I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist family. So like it was like very religious, right? Whatever.
Okay.
Right? And so there was this school, Grandview it was called, and it was like a 40-minute drive from the house. And yeah, so private school from the beginning, really religious, like it being brought up. I know all of the Bible stories, interestingly enough, which actually, it's crazy. As I got older, these stories like kind of come back into my life, and I actually understand the lessons more deeply now.
That's cool.
Super interesting stuff, man.
That's cool.
So
you went to a private school right out of the gate. So like JK,
Yep.
SK till grade 5?
Yep.
Okay. And how was that? Or I guess how would you say the contrast is between private and public?
Well, it's a big difference, right? Like actually, it was a very small school, tight-knit school. Like, dude, we had like 80 students. That was it. Yeah, which is kind of crazy, right? Because when you go to public, it's like hundreds of students. I think I ended up at Gatestone Elementary in grade 6, and it was probably like 500 or some students. So it was like a big difference. Like I was like, oh shoot.
And that's in Hamilton?
Yes.
Where was that?
So Grandview is in Mount Hope. It's just outside of Hamilton.
Okay.
It's like in the country.
All right.
And then I ended up in school at Gatestone's there in Stony Creek.
Okay.
And so, yeah, man. So it was a big contrast. It was an interesting change and like learning how the dynamics of school were, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
So when you were in that private school, how was it making friends and stuff like that? Because there's not really many of you,
Yeah.
So how was that?
Well, you know what? It's interesting because like this is actually something that I had to like learn when I went to public school, because in private school it wasn't that difficult. I kind of just grew up with those people.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Like we all knew each other from JK, and it was like the same people all the way up until grade 5. So I had like my friends and everything like that, and I knew everybody in the school. So it wasn't like I had trouble developing friends. But once I got to public school and didn't really know anybody, that's when I was like, oh shit, this is kind of weird. It's kind of like an awkward thing where I got to like start to like meet friends and talk to people that I don't know, I guess.
Got it. So what type of guy were you in public school, in that private school, right? How every friend group has like a funny guy, has like the leader of the group. Like what type of guy were you in public school?
Yeah.
Growing up.
In public school, like, okay, so in private school, I was like, I guess it was just like, I don't know, we were all friends, so it's hard to say. I wouldn't even call it popular, but I guess it was, because it was like one big clique.
Got it.
And then when I went to elementary school, public school, that was where I like had to start meeting people, and I remember I got into my first fight in public school.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that was, you can imagine the dynamic that I was switched into, right? Not knowing people, making friends.
For sure.
And I didn't, it was like, it was a new territory because there wasn't necessarily bullies at Grandview. I mean, I don't think they were.
At the private school.
At the private school.
Got it.
But at public school there is, right? This is a whole new dynamic. So I have to like learn this. And I didn't have like troubles with it. I didn't get bullied much. But it was something to kind of
So
like,
just probably the classic new guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're a fucking new guy. I'm going to pick on you type thing.
exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So grade 5, you leave, right? That's your last year at the private school.
Yeah.
Okay. So going into grade 6, you go to this public school. What is it like? Like the first week there, you're probably fucking tripping out a little bit.
Big time, man. I was like, what is going on? Like, this is, cause it's so much different, right?
Like how many kids in your grade alone? Because I'm assuming in the private
Right.
school, 80 kids the whole school?
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then there's probably like 86 graders
Wow.
when I got there, right? It was
Yeah.
probably, it was like probably 2 classes or like two and a half, because they do a split or something. So yeah, it was probably like the amount of kids I went to school with in total was the amount I had in my own grade.
Got it.
So it's kind of like a little bit of a different thing, yeah.
And did you find it challenging, like trying to make new friends in the public school?
It was at first.
'Cause
Yeah,
that is kind of an odd age. Like grade 5, you're
Yeah.
you're still really young.
Yeah.
And you just kind of left all your friends behind,
yeah.
So how was it trying to make friends there?
Yeah. I would say that it was a little bit weird. It was a little bit weird, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I still played sports and all that kind of stuff. So like that's how you really connect with people, right? So it wasn't too weird. And then plus like there was a crew of like immigrants. You know what I mean? Like I'm not an immigrant. I was born here, but my parents are Latino, right? So like I'm still like kind of like an immigrant. So it was like I there was a crew of us that were all like from different countries and stuff like that too, right? So
That's dope.
yeah, I fit into that,
Cool. So from grade 5 to grade 8, what type of guy are you there?
Well, I think it was kind of I don't know, it's kind of weird, man. Like one thing I noticed is I did really well. I did well in school, in private school, and then when I went to public school, my grades started to drop. And then also I kind of like had this mentality of like I don't know, feeling like this is all bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, what are we like? What's the point of all this school anyway?
Kind of like the rebellish mentality.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I actually, I look back at this now, like my grade 8 graduation book. I literally put in the description for like, what's your future career? And I was just trolling them, and I said I was going to be a window washer. You know what I mean? Just to say fuck it, right? And that's kind of the mentality I had at the time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, exactly, right?
So when you leave public school, you go to what high school?
I went to Saltfleet. It was a public high school.
Okay, cool. So that's
Yeah.
public high school again.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
And then is that Catholic? Like, are you going to these Catholic schools at all?
No, they're just public.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like my private school was Seventh-day Adventist Christian,
Got it.
and then straight to public, and that's where I stayed till I graduated grade 12.
Cool. So did you keep that same group of friends through high school?
To a certain extent, because a lot of us played. I played rugby, eh? So
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, we were like Saltfleet's huge on rugby. It was like the biggest sport there, and so a lot of us played rugby. So yeah, we connected through that. But I ended up just being friends with the rugby kids.
Cool.
But some of them did join the rugby crew too, right? So
Got it. So how was high school for you overall?
yeah, dude, high school was like I remember I ended up having this mentality of like so I was always in so remember do you guys ever have like academic and applied?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I was always in academic, but I was always like getting grades that just passed me by. You know what I mean? And also like looking for ways to like not put as little time into it, so I just got the job done.
Yeah.
And then I could do other things. So that was always an interesting thing an interesting dynamic that I can like reflect on. And but yeah, I think that was the biggest thing was like I stopped focusing on like I just felt the bullshit aura a lot of it.
Got it.
And you know I could tell that they were really pushing us to go to university, for example, right? And I was like, something's wrong here. Not that university is bad for everybody, obviously.
For sure.
It's, like we need.
So was high
doctors.
school really that time where you kind of had to, or I guess you saw more clearly that university wasn't going to be for me? Like that's not really the path that I want to go down.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Right.
cool. And what were your friends thinking of that? Like I know obviously in a friend group,
Dude, most of my friends went to university. And
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and that was the funny thing, right? And it's like, and I was like, yeah, but like, what is it that your plan is to do after that? And most of them, it wasn't like, to be a lawyer, to be a doctor. It was like, yeah, well, I'll just do a social studies course or whatever, and then I'll figure it out from there. I have a degree.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
that's
fuck's sakes.
I know that's a thing that I always like lose my mind on too, where it's like you obviously need these lawyers and these doctors and nurses and all these people that do require university and college courses and stuff like that. But like you see so many, I would actually say probably the majority, more than 50% of people are going into these classes and they're taking some bullshit course, and yeah, to me, I'm just like, dude, why even fucking waste your money?
Yeah.
Like you're going to pay 20, 30, 40K, you know what I mean? Potentially at a low end.
Yep.
Like dump that into, I don't know, property or something like that, you know?
Or how about this, man? Like, this is the whole thing about getting coaches. Because I know you had told me that you originally got Justin to kind of show you the ropes.
Yeah.
Everything, right?
Yeah. No, I was legit student like 3 or 4 in trade launch.
See what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
instead of, like, most people would, like, look at that investment and go, nah, that's kind of, they may even think it's a fucking scam. But yet, fucking this 4-year degree that costs you $40,000 to get a social studies degree that's not going to not going to get you any income afterwards. That makes sense, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's the social norm.
Social norm, exactly.
It's because society has told you that it's okay. So then that's what you're just going to go flow towards. You know what I mean? Which is the problem. Where it's like now in high school, I don't know what your experience was, but I know my experience was it didn't really seem very free thinking. It was very regimented. It was very this. You're going to do this course and this project and this project, read that book, And so you don't really have the opportunity to free think. Like even when it comes to projects and stuff like that, right? It's all stuff that is already in some type of curriculum that like God knows who made.
Yeah.
Right. And
some
so
rigid curriculum.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then that teaches you to be a good listener, to be a good follower. When it's like we got to develop leaders, right? Leadership is how, shit moves and innovation happens and, conceptualization of these different ideas and products and stuff like that all stem from leadership and free thinking.
Yep. And even within your own organization, like obviously you're running the show, it's your business, but you still have leaders in your business.
100%. 100%. Yeah. I literally tell the guys all the time, every single person is a leader, every single one of you.
Yep.
Right. Because if one guy, for lack of better terms, gets out of line, then you need to be at least enough of a leader to say, hey man, we don't do that here. We do it like this. And in all reality, that is leadership. To be able to check somebody when you notice that they're out of line, or to be able to call somebody out, even though it might be uncomfortable, even though that, you might get yourself into a little bit of a confrontation of some sort.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, the values, what we do here, this is what we do.
100%. Well, and so one of the things I noticed, because when we were in Arizona last year, and I think it was last like November time, right?
Yeah,
November, October.
I can't remember. Like I'm tripping. I know I went so many times last year, but I think was it July?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was getting cold.
Was it?
Or was it summertime?
Because I remember though that dude.
No, maybe you're right.
I think it was July because we went down there. And dude, do you remember doing that like fucking hill run?
Yep.
With the Elliott Army and shit?
Yep.
Dude, that fucking killed me. You know? Like you're in fucking 60-degree weather running 3K. Dude. It was fucked.
Yeah, dude. And that's what I was going to say about this whole thing is that when we were together, there was accountability across the board.
100%.
So whoever got up first set the standard. And then everybody would fall, and everybody would start waking up right after that. And also like whoever decided like, I'm going on a run this morning, it kind of set the standard for everybody else in the house. And then all of a sudden we're all running.
100%,
dude.
Same thing with Amar was like doing like running yoga and shit for us in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that? Like on the turf there.
That's right. Yeah.
So shit like that, right? And that just goes back to like, be careful who you're around. Be careful who you surround yourself with, right? Because you're gonna become the 5th, 6th guy in that fucking clan. So,
dude,
you gotta watch out.
100%, man.
Okay,
yeah.
so when you get out of high school, right? Just out of high school, what are you doing after that? Like, what's your first move out of high school?
Dude, the first thing I did was actually I got my insurance broker's license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got my insurance broker's license, and then but it was an interesting thing. So before that, I remember it was New Year's, and I actually went back to school for a victory lap, and I only did 1 semester. So that New Year's, I had a buddy, and I remember he's kind of a funny guy, but he also is very hardworking. Was making more money than all of us at that time because he was like delivering truck, but like for his pops' company and just working like crazy overtime. And the rest of us are like thinking about what school to go to basically, or doing our first year. And he was like, man, my uncle's telling me about power engineering out west. You become an operator, you're gonna make like $200,000 and all this stuff like that, right? And everyone was kind of making fun of him because they all went to university. And I'm figuring out what my next step is, right? I took a second to kind of, took a step back and really read the room, really looked around, went, what is the next best logical step? I'm not just going to go to university here and get myself in the middle of this. It would have been a debt trap for me because I would have ended up going for like English or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Fuck. So I, he was telling me about that. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll look more into that. So my brother was in insurance, goes, hey, get your broker's license. I went to go take the exam, was taking the bus at 6 a.m, to go down to like Mohawk College to take the course. And which is kind of like a really important experience in and of itself. Like, you know, sitting on a bus at 6 a.m, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? It's kind of like a weird time, right?
100%.
And,
well, I was gonna say that probably those bus thoughts were probably different for
different,
sure.
bro. Yeah, you're just like,
100%.
it's definitely wild, man. You're sitting there kind of like, what the fuck? What's going on here? This is kind of wild. But
What's actually the process in getting that like fucking ticket or however you say it? Like that license.
What for brokerages?
Yeah.
For broker's license?
Yeah.
So there's an exam that you take for it, and like I took like a 2-week course, so I knew it was a quick in and out to get that license, and I could start working.
So do you actually have to go to some sort of college to take the exam?
I don't know if no. I think you could just do it online now.
Okay.
Back then, I guess it was probably always in person, but you know, I'm trying to think of. I think you could just take it, right? You could just buy the books and take it.
Got it.
But I decided to take like a 2-week course.
So foundationally, at the base, like if you had to give a 30-second pitch on the course that you would be taking in order to get your license, what would that be?
Oh fuck. Let's see.
What are you actually learning, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, no. This is an interesting thing, and same thing goes for when I did my power engineering. So at the end of the day, you're taking these exams that are multiple choice, and for me, like here's the thing: they give you a multiple choice exam, and then they go, "Here are the books. Here's the curriculum." But the problem with that is that you can't just translate reading a paragraph into like a multiple choice question that they're trying to trick you on. So for me, what I actually learned was that doing just practice exams is the best way to do it, and then you kind of just memorize them, and then you get into the real world and do real work. Because it's not the same fucking thing.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's not the same thing.
No.
So I would say, like, if you're trying to pass these exams, just like focus on practice exams, focus on passing these, just focus on practice exams, and then focus on passing the actual exam itself. Forget about it, move on, and then learn what actually happens in the real world. And so, same thing happened for power engineering because it was like multiple different multiple choice exam. Well, until you get to the higher levels, it's written exams. Same idea, same concept though. You just fucking you learn the bank questions, you learn what they are, you memorize them to a certain extent, and then you write the exam and pass.
So what are you actually learning? Like, what is this test on?
Okay, so the broker in terms of insurance, like we're kind of bouncing back and forth. So for insurance, it's like you have to learn basic products that are essential. You know, in Ontario, the first exam you'll take is probably just home and auto insurance, and then there's like a little bit of commercial insurance in there, and then you're just kind of getting like just at the end of the day, they're just giving you multiple choice questions about the industry as a whole, insurance products, this and that, and then trying to trick you as well, right? That's how the multiple choice questions are.
For sure. There's always like one answer that's like totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
One answer that's like fucking. You know what I mean? Decent, and then two that are like could be the answer.
Exactly.
Sure.
And then you can either gamble and go 50-50 or kind of think it through, or you can kind of already know it, have an idea, right?
I know.
So,
That's one thing that I never really understood about testing either. Is like, what do you like in today's society? Like, I completely understand. Like, let's just say 50 years ago, when we didn't have all this cool shit that we have now, why you'd need to like memorize certain things But, like, what do we actually have to memorize shit for right now? You know? Like, I can write it down on my phone, and then I can pull it up on my laptop, and I can airdrop it to this guy, and this guy gets it. You know what I mean? And then I can also print it out, and I can also write it on a whiteboard, and I can, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, what am I trying to memorize right now, you know? Like,
dude.
Like, I think memorizing information, most of it, right, is something that you don't really necessarily need to do, right? I think memorizing skills... It's probably something a little bit more important.
Yeah, well, think about it, right? Like in today's day and age, you're going to use the tools available to you, which means you're going to use. It's not even. We don't even need to talk about Google anymore. Just ChatGPT and AI.
100%.
So,
and like realistically, like I know there's for sure, right? There's people out there that are like, oh well, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, like the fucking curriculum is a curriculum, but I mean at the same time, like we got to fucking also open our eyes here and realize the world that we're living in.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many different tools.
This goes into that whole conversation of the Matrix and stuff, right? And
for sure,
it's kind of like a corny name, I guess.
We're already gonna get there. Damn. All right.
Well, why not, right? So it's kind of like I kind of find it a corny name sometimes because we use it so often But the reality is just that's another example of the Matrix. It's just this conformity of guidelines and rules that are antiquated, and at the end of the day, there's no questioning. It's just like, do this. This is the way it's done.
For sure.
And a lot of those exams are a good example of that.
How would you describe the Matrix? Like, what do you actually mean by that?
Well, I think it's like the honestly, society as a whole has a certain like subset of ideals, rules, and guidelines that you as a human you kind of have to abide by if you're gonna be part of the clan or part of this this life. And I think that it's really propagated by the powers that be, whatever you want to call those. But whatever it is, like rich business corporations and whatever, right? But they all want us to live a certain life and have a certain belief system that benefits them, not us. And I think that's in a nutshell is kind of why, or that's at least what I care about fighting against.
For sure.
Because I don't believe in that for me, myself, or my friends or my family.
For sure. Yeah, I also think like the way that I visualize it, I'm a very visual fucking guy, right? Like I have to visualize things. But the way that I visualize it truly is like whatever is considered normal, right, to the majority of the population, that's how I would define like the Matrix per se.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think you always have to exclude yourself from what's considered normal. Now, you also have to realize that there is some fucking rules and regulations that make some fucking sense. Right? Like don't rob, steal, kill.
Yeah.
Like that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Under most circumstances.
But here's the thing though. Okay, so this is really where the Matrix starts to make moves. So I was actually listening to a podcast and I found it very interesting. I don't know if you listened to Andrew Tate at all or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Right. So Andrew Tate had a podcast with Bonnie Blue, which is such an interesting thing because you have
That's
the dynamic,
crazy.
right? Think about that. And like honestly, like whether you're a fan of either of them or not, I don't really care. But the whole point is that it's an interesting conversation from people that you would think are from polarizing sides, but they're actually in agreement with each other to a large extent. And so you have one person that's like believes in God, but also believes in having multiple wives, multiple children, whatever. And then you have Bonnie Blue, who sleeps with over 1,000 men in one day or whatever, right? But the reality of that is one of the points that they made that I thought was very interesting was that Bonnie Blue would get far less clout in the news media if she took a truck, drove down a bridge, and ran over 6 people. She'd get far less news and media from that than she did from sleeping with 1,000 men. And there's a reason for that because the media simply wants to give us certain pieces of information. They want us to freak out about and be distracted by all these things, like a woman sleeping with 1,000 men. But all the time, there's stabbings going on in certain cities. There's how many robberies. I'm in insurance. I see how much robberies are going on in Brampton and Toronto, and they're not talking about it at all. But they're worried about so much other stupid shit.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting for sure. What I also think maybe as like a I don't know, like maybe a side venture of whoever is controlling this game, right? Is they want to put certain individuals into the spotlight. Now, I'm not saying that like it's like a fucking game show where they're like, "Oh my god, we pick you," you know? But like depending on the choices that you make, right? Because the more eyes that someone gets, right? Like you said, the more clout they get, which means in turn, if you want to call it this, but the more respect to some degree that someone gains, right? It can be positive or negative. I guess I shouldn't use the word respect, but positive or negative view.
Yeah.
So if we're trying to, I'm just going to say, right, in hypothetical terms, if I was somebody trying to, let's just say, destroy the family idea, right? Nuclear family. I would probably want to give somebody some degree of power who is someone that potentially girls or guys could look up to, right? To be able to disperse that, right? To be able to, okay, like she's doing it, so I'm okay to do it as well, right? Because she's getting all this hype and this stuff around it. It becomes normalized, you know. So if I was that guy, if I was trying to do that, I would probably want to put somebody in power with opposite beliefs, values, maybe, than what the nucleus family actually offers, you know.
Absolutely.
So I also think that that's if you look at a lot of stuff that's going on now, right? You put certain things in the spotlight to get what you need done, right? And if you need the family broken up, there's people for that. And if you need, you know what I mean, men to get weaker, there's people for that. If you need, you know what I mean, all this different stuff. And so that, I think, also is a big, I think that's a big, I don't know if I want to say idea, or I don't even know if it's an idea. I think it's actually happening, but that's what they do, right? They find these people, right? They put them on a little bit, and that way they become, you know what I mean, idolized in some degree. So I think that could be potentially what's also going on there.
Yeah, because it's a conscious decision to promote who you want.
Of course.
They choose what news articles to release.
Of course.
And so if there's a conscious decision behind that, so they're consciously deciding on this certain stories, certain individuals. And I think you nailed on it with the nuclear family. If you can, if you want to control a society, the first thing you need to do is disenfranchise the men, to remove their power, remove their desire to even want to revolt against what you're trying to force them to do. You want them to live on their knees, and you do that by splitting up the family. And then, you know, when he's in the household, he has no say, he has no authority, loses all of his power, and then and we also promote this. We're essentially promoting the idea to not procreate.
For sure.
And,
Which is fucking no good.
It's
obviously.
no good. No. It's an interesting thing, right? Like, I don't know, like throughout high school, I remember going through high school and the idea of not having children was starting to grow, and it's starting to get more popular. And like you'd hear people, like, I'm sure 50 years ago, nobody was, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but perhaps I don't think anybody would be really saying, I'm not going to have children.
For sure.
You'd probably be considered weird.
It's kind of normal, yeah, to have kids.
It was just normal to have kids.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that is kind of right on point with this is the Roman Colosseum. Have you ever looked into that?
No.
You know the Roman Colosseum, obviously the famous one in Rome.
Yep.
Okay, so I watched this podcast. This guy breaks it down. Okay. And so the Roman Colosseum was this idea that they made, right, where they would have, like, whatever, prisoners or even just warriors go and fight these animals and each other and all this stuff, right? Some form of entertainment, let's call it. So that was the first idea behind distraction towards what else is going on, because now everyone's just looking forward to go watch some guy fight a lion, right? Instead of actually worrying about what their government is doing, or worried about the moves that they're making, or what they're thinking about doing. The general population is just super excited to go to the Coliseum on Friday night,
right,
and go watch these shows.
Yep.
You know, so that's now their excitement. That's now what they look forward to. That's what everyone's talking about.
Right.
Right. And it gets everybody off of the trail of what potentially other people could be doing in the background.
Yes.
Right. It's like, hey, just go over here, watch this, you'll have fun. Okay. And then, you know what I mean? There's a group over here doing shit while no one's watching.
Yeah.
You know,
as long as they're having fun, they're not going to ask questions.
For sure. Right. And so it was super interesting, because I was like, I can definitely 100% see that.
Yep.
You know, where you create this idea behind getting everybody onto the same thing, right? Because at the end of the day, like, if you want to make any type of body of human beings, you want to give them one thing in common, at least, right? To bring everybody together, right? And if that's that Coliseum, it's the Coliseum.
Now, did he mention, did they have to buy tickets, though?
I don't know.
I wonder if they were just like, this is a free show.
Yeah, very well.
That'd be
very well they
interesting,
could be, right? And so that's where it's kind of like, it was a super interesting topic, right? Now, again, right? I actually do believe that that's true. I do believe that that's to be true, and so did this dude. But then again, you know what I mean? We're talking about thousands of years ago. So,
Right. Yeah. Who
but
knows,
at the
right?
same time, I can 100% see that point. Right? I could see that to be true.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
Yeah. No, I think that that's what it's about, man. It's like, what's the best way to distract us from all the taxes, the increase in taxation that we've had in the past 10 years, even just the past 10 years alone? And how do you do that? You make us, you distract us. You distract us with all kinds of things. Think about like one of the things that come to my mind is like COVID. Remember, like during COVID, it was like in flashing red. Another 50 people infected today, another death today for COVID, and what that is just that them deciding that this is what we're going to focus on, this is what we're going to distract everybody with. Like people are dying every day of all kinds of different things. You don't hear anything about it because it's not helping them fit their narrative. It's not helping them with their plan of what they're trying to achieve. But during COVID, they wanted us to be afraid. They wanted us to stay inside. They wanted us to do as we were told. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by highlighting that somebody else died today and like
Yeah, instilling fear
instilling fear,
for sure.
distracting us.
For
You know,
sure.
telling us giving us a CERB check worth $2,000 a month, and then really propping up Uber Eats and Netflix. Just distracting us, man.
What do you think that actually was?
COVID?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if I'm not a scientist, right? So I don't know if it was obviously something was going around. People did die, People die of all kinds of diseases every day. I think that if it was real, whether it was real or not, I think that there were still powers that be that decided that this is how we were going to do it. I think big corporations got a lot of money. I mean, no one's talking about how much money this pharmaceutical companies made during that period.
Of course.
Think about that, right?
Ton of money.
Ton of money. And even just this, and this is another thing that pissed me off, is that during COVID, I think it was 2021, Justin Trudeau made that huge deal with Pfizer to give everybody like booster shots, right? And it's like, okay, it's not like Justin Trudeau is like, this is on the house, guys. Like, we all paid for it through our taxes.
Of course, for sure.
And who was getting rich off automatic printing of money? Pfizer. It was just a big business transaction. And, like all that spending that we don't even talk about, that just gets forgotten. And, I think that there's powers that be. It benefited somebody, didn't it? Right? And I think that there's a reason for that.
Do you feel like there was potentially something underlying there? Whether that be, like you said, obviously financial benefit for certain businesses, but you think there's something even more than that?
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked that is because I'll tell you what I think after you answer that.
Okay. Well, you know what? Like, I think that's a big part of it, and it also, I think it just goes into the narrative of controlling us, controlling the mass populace. What was your thought process?
Yeah, I believe I honestly I do believe that COVID was real, in my opinion personally. I think it was definitely real.
Right.
I think how it became real, I don't know.
Right.
Again, right? Like you said, I'm not a scientist. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, right? But I do know that hospitals were legitimately overwhelmed, right? I do know that there was a lot of people that were fucking dying. I get that. But at the same time, I just found it very interesting how, you know what I mean? Like that year of that massive wave of COVID, I can't remember if it was 2021 or 2022, there just, for some reason, was no flu deaths. You know? That was weird.
Yep.
You know? And so if you want to be a good robber, you got to cover up your fucking tracks everywhere. You know? And if you don't, well then, fuck, you know? Certain people are going to pick certain things out, certain clues, certain, you know what I mean? They're going to start picking your job apart and figuring out, okay, this guy kind of slipped up here. What's this over here? You know? And I think that goes back to a couple things, honestly. I think one was instilling fear in the population, 100%. I think number two was control.
Yeah.
Right? How tight is our grip right now on these people? We need to test that. Right? And so what are we going to do? Well, we need to have something legitimate, right? Like going back to it, I just think if I was to do it, if I had a massive group of people that I wanted to test out what my control was like, I don't think I would have done anything different.
Right.
Right? You come out with something very, very scary, right? Instill fear into people. And then, because realistically, the fastest way to get people to move and do anything is literally money and violence, fear,
Fear.
right?
Yeah, and the thing is that even if it was, I mean, obviously, like I got COVID twice, and I was fine. It wasn't that big a deal. So like, even if it wasn't even that severe, the key is that they instilled enough fear to make it feel like it was extremely severe, and everyone was freaking out.
Yeah. And I also think though too, right? Like to say like obviously, right? Any type of new fucking disease, fucking whatever it is, it's gonna affect old people. Like unfortunately,
Yeah,
if you're between the ages of 60 and 100, like you're just more at risk, most likely.
100%.
You know? And so like to advertise this like this is new information was kind of silly in my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what I mean? All old people are and then you have these people that are just fucked right up, you know? People that are like, "Oh my god, you're fucking killing people if you don't go out and get this fucking vaccine," right?
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like for me personally, like I don't even take fucking Advil, Tylenol.
Dude, fucking right. I feel the same way about it.
You know? So it's like I'm not going to put some random shit that I have no idea what's going on in my body.
Dude.
I'm just not going to do that. Like I believe personally, I would like to think that, you know what I mean, we live in a free country and we have some choice. So
Right.
with that being said, I just think that most of the time, right? Like let's put this in a very simple term here, right? Is who do you think is going to eat this fucking hypothetical sandwich faster? Me standing beside you and saying, eat that sandwich, or me standing beside you with a gun to your head saying, eat that sandwich?
Right.
Who's going to move quicker?
Yeah. The one with the gun.
Of course. Right? And so what I mean by that is essentially when there's fear involved, you can get people to move a lot faster. Where maybe if you didn't have a gun to your head, you'd open up the bread, you'd be like, dude, why does this guy want me to eat this sandwich? You know, you check it out a little bit more.
Sure, yeah.
But when you have a gun to your head, you don't give a fuck what's in the sandwich because you don't want to get shot.
Exactly.
You know? So that's where it's like a very small percentage of people, I believe, really took a step back and was like, what is going on right now? Right? Because what you're doing by not checking it out yourself is just trusting, not to say that you can't trust anybody, but what I am saying is that you should do your own thinking. You should be able to free think enough to say, is this a good decision for me at my age, in my body, with my beliefs, my morals, right? And I just think that if someone is holding a gun to your head, personally, I'm more likely to think, why the fuck does this guy want me to eat the sandwich, right?
You're going to question it.
You're going to question it, right? But most people are not even going to think, and they're just going to eat it, right? Because there's a gun in the picture.
And it's really just like a fake gun.
So that's where you really gotta take a step back, right? And be like, hey, what are my morals? What are my beliefs? What do I believe in? Do I believe that this is good for me where I'm at personally? You know what I mean? And a lot of people I just don't think did that, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah,
but
man, they got scared. They got scared. You know what's funny? I feel the same way about Tylenol and Advil, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
Dude, honestly, yeah, because like I don't know. There's something about it where I'm like, I always make this joke. I'm like, I don't do hard drugs. So I consider that a hard drug. Now, obviously, you're not gonna have any like a change of state or anything like that when you take it. You just numb your pain, right? But
For sure.
I think there's enough studies as well. I don't know if you've looked into this too, of like how badly it affects your liver and things like this.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into any of those.
Yeah, and what it reminds me of is like we know that when pharmaceutical companies and corporations can benefit off of it, there was a time when they said cigarettes were healthy for you.
For sure.
Then inevitably, a lot of people started dying from it, and then the information came out where it's like, okay, you shouldn't smoke cigarettes, and if you do, that's your own choice. But like we're at the point now in 2025 where they literally you buy a pack of cigarettes and it's like a photo of someone's like cancerous lungs. You know, you see
Literally.
like right, literally, and so I think that there's a lot of drug like if they could do that in the past, and they've done it with multiple different things, why wouldn't they be doing that in present day? And what are they doing it with? And I think Advil and Tylenol are one of those things that, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a scientist, right? I'm not, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to stick to my morals and my beliefs and not use it.
I just, like, me personally, my thoughts on Advil and Tylenol are like, dude, like, we got here without it. Like, am I actually dying? Am I dying right now, or do I have a cold?
Right.
Like, obviously, like, one thing that when Amar was on here, he actually said his definition of intelligence, and I love it. It stuck with me, where it's like you have two opposing beliefs, but understanding when to utilize one over the other.
Okay.
When it's like, yes, I believe that I don't want to take any pharmaceuticals, but if I'm fucking dying and that's what's going to save me, maybe I should take some pharmaceuticals, So it's like, so it's like if you just have to understand, excuse me, you just have to understand when to take it and when to not, right? Like if I have a cold or I stub my toe or, I break my arm or I'm taking my wisdom teeth out, like, dude, like, fuck, bro. Like, it's a
There's
little bit
gonna be
of
a
pain,
moment there where you're gonna want to take it.
but it's a little bit of pain where you can get through it.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill you. You're not going to die.
Yeah.
And I feel like our society is so normalizing, like, oh, don't feel any pain. We don't want you to feel any pain. You know what I mean? When it's just really going to make you fucking a little bit stronger, if anything, right? Your pain tolerance rises a little bit.
Yeah. It even reminds me of like when you're in the gym and people stop when it starts to burn, right?
For sure.
And it's like that's actually the point where you want to be feeling that burn, because that's where the growth is.
100%.
That's good for you, right? So pushing through the pain points and this and that, right? And not just always relying on a crutch. It's just a good thing for life in general. For
sure. Yeah, I also think, like, speaking in the gym, real quick, is like training till failure, not just when you're tired, Like legit failure, like find your limits. And I say that almost every fucking podcast, find your limits, right? Because not a lot of people get to do that in life.
Yeah.
And if you have the opportunity to find your limits, and when I say limits, I mean like when are you going to break mentally, physically? What does that point look like for you?
Right.
Right? Because everybody's going to be different. There's going to be people with higher pain tolerances. There's going to be people with lower pain tolerances. Right? Yep. And then when you find that limit, do you want to increase it? Mm-hmm. And then there's ways to do that.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, that's part of the like growth and getting better, right?
For sure.
Sure. How would you say that you've pushed your limits in your business?
How have I pushed my limits in my business? Well, I push myself, right? When I say limits, I more or less talk about individuals, people, right? So I guess you can say, related to the business, I push my people, which pushes the business. Right? Mm-hmm. And I expect my people to push me as well.
Yep.
Right? Because ideally, in an ideal world, you want to be surrounded by people that are going to push you when you need to be pushed.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, I think personally, if you have people in your life that are not going to call you out when you're fucking being a donkey, or you're not going to have people call you out when they know that you have 3-4 more, or you're not going to be around people that call you out when, you know what I mean, you made a wrong decision, and that guy's not going to say, hey, dude, you fucked up.
Right.
Like, those people are so valuable, right? And sometimes people will call that, oh, he's being a dick, he's stupid. Well, fuck, is he right?
Exactly.
You ever thought of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is he right?
Yeah, exactly.
When it's like people are just so emotionally enclosed nowadays where they can't take any fucking criticism because that's just hate.
Yeah.
Right? Second that you try and criticize somebody, oh, you're hating.
Yeah.
I'm not hating, dude. I'm trying to make you better.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, it's like people will just think that you're being a dick to them, but they're just telling you how it is.
Of course. And like that goes back to like fucking, I was just on the phone with Matt, one of my guys, me and fucking Noah. And you know what I mean? He's going out, he's living his life, doing his thing, But if I see something from one of my guys, then I'm going to call him the fuck out. You know, that's my responsibility. That's what a leader does.
Fucking right.
You know? So, and if that means you don't like it or you feel a certain type of way about it, well, too bad. I don't really care.
Yeah.
You
This
know?
is the standard here.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like it, no problem.
100%, man. 100%,
So,
bro.
what about yourself?
Yeah, man. No, I feel the same way. I one of the biggest places I see that is in the gym. I typically go to failure. That's usually how I roll. I don't really roll with just try to aim for 10 reps. And yeah, so in the gym I'm doing that. I find in work it is a little bit it's a little bit tricky because it's not just about what I've noticed, especially when it comes to okay, so in business ownership, what drives the business is sales. And then obviously you need to support the sales system with all these other systems that you implement, right? But at the end of the day, with no sales, you have no business.
For sure.
So that's really what you have to take care of. And I find that sales is one of those really interesting things where it's not all about just 100% moving forward. It's also like there's a cadence to it too. And so it's an interesting thing where it's
What do you mean by that, a cadence?
so it's not about just, I think that there's like, for example, if you sit at your desk for 12 hours straight, at some point your productivity is actually going to drop because you're just not going to be as productive if you just sit there the whole time. And I've seen a lot of successful salespeople where they'll take those breaks in between, for example. And I know that you've touched on this as well, right? Where you'll take like a 10 or 5 minute break or something on between like power blocks.
Yeah, like 90-minute increments.
90-minute increments, exactly, right? And so I find that that's really the key. Because what I did when I first started was just I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do the work and I'm going to keep pushing through no matter what. But I find that it's not as effective as implementing that kind of a system. So that's what I mean by cadence. There's also, it's not just about going like just running forward and sprinting the whole time. It's a marathon, right? So you got to pace yourself too.
Got it. Yeah, I think that is absolutely valid for. I think that's absolutely valid for some people, because this is where, in my opinion, sometimes people will take that the wrong way.
Okay, yeah, you gotta clarify, yeah.
Where, for people that have been in the game and understand that, like if you're just trying to get into, like, let's just say your hustling phase of life, where now you're trying to do something with your life, you're trying to make moves, right? Some people, and I've seen this as well, where you take that in as, okay, well, I'm going to work for 90 minutes and then I'm going to fucking blast Instagram for 45, chill out for a bit.
Right,
and then
right.
maybe I'll come back. Where it's like, okay, we also have to realize, like, yes, your productivity will drop, but there also is momentum that you need to take into account.
Oh, huge.
Right? Of the fact of momentum of, okay, I'm already been 90 minutes in. You know, maybe my productivity is dropping a little bit. Let's get some food, 10, 15 minutes. Let's read a book. Let's listen to a podcast. Do something productive.
Right.
Right? Maybe just lie on the floor. Think.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But then come back to it.
Yep.
Right? Where people will take that as like, okay, well, I'm going to work for 90 minutes. And then for most people, you take a 10-minute break, that shit's turning into an hour. Because you're doing this, you get lost, you're fucking scrolling, you're whatever.
Yep.
Right? Where it's like you have to be severely regimented for that to actually be effective. Right? So for someone like yourself, right, who's been in the game, you've fucking been doing this stuff, that makes a lot of sense. Right? It makes a lot of sense to me. But for the average person just trying to get after it, you know, like, be very, very careful with what that break looks like.
That's
know?
very
like,
interesting.
Like I saw on your story the other day, you're literally just going for a walk, which is dope, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, like mid fucking day walk or something, whatever you said.
Dude, 100%, man.
Right? And it's just like, that's a good time to get outside, get some fucking sun in your eyes.
That's 100%.
You know what I mean? Think about what you got to do next. Take a second, stop staring at the screen, and then get back to it.
And get back to it.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But the getting back to it part is, if you don't understand momentum and how it works and how it affects you, if you don't understand that, then the getting back to it part is going to be fucking hard,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so you have to be very disciplined with that, of the getting back to it and actually getting back to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the term dead space or dead time? Sorry.
Dead time?
Dead time.
I'm not too sure. What is that?
So dead time is basically transition. So transition from one task to a next.
Okay.
So that time period is going to be called dead time or dead space, meaning a time block in your day, a certain time block in your day, however long it takes you to transition from one task to the next.
Okay.
That is considered dead time or dead space. So if you can just simply minimize the dead space in your day, you can be, multiples more productive than what you are.
Right.
Right? The problem is that most people take too long to get from one task to the next. Whereas if you can just minimize that by half, you could potentially be 50%, 100% more productive in your day.
Yeah. And actually, there's an interesting point on that to highlight for everybody is that what happens is, so that dead time that you're explaining too, there's a lot of people get caught in mini dead times where because they're switching from an email to an application to a phone call to a text message to whatever the case is, you're just bouncing back and forth. You have to now regain momentum in the new task that you're doing.
Sure.
So if you're switching all the time, you have to start that process up again. And if you look at like just the physics of a train, the amount of energy required to get the train moving is far more than to keep the train moving once it's already in motion, which is momentum.
For sure.
Right. So I think the biggest thing is that we think about multitasking, and as I get more and more into this game, I just realize that multitasking, like, I don't really know if that's really what we're doing or that's effective. When you start a task, finish it, and then move on to the next thing. But like, I find that if I'm like doing emails, I'm typing away, and then I go, oh, I got to do this next thing, or oh, a reminder comes up on my phone, and I take a look at it. That's dead space now that's created. Okay. And although I'm disciplined and I'll get back to my email, that's still unnecessary loss of time and energy.
For sure.
And so I'm focusing on recouping all of those moments throughout the day. And you do that by simply focus on the one task, finish it, then you start something new.
So what do you do throughout your days to minimize those little micro dead spaces?
Dude, it's very difficult because I'm like super, like, I like to do a bunch of different shit all the time. But what I've done is I actually started time blocking myself.
Okay.
So that, and then giving myself the permission to ignore things when I'm in my whatever respected time window.
Got it.
And that's the discipline there. Because especially with insurance, right? Like, I'll be in the middle of a quote or something like that, and then I'm getting a call from a client on another deal that I'm working on, and then I'm taking it when I should really just be like, no, I'm in the middle of this. This is my time block. I'll have a time block for callbacks later. Now, sometimes it's hard because maybe I might be in the middle of an emergency. Like, there's a quick closing on a property. Someone needs insurance quick. That happens. It's inevitable. I'm working on figuring out how to minimize that, and it's going to be systems is really the only way to do that.
Got it.
But
do you have any ideas in mind?
Well, I think it's hard to say, man, because I've noticed I don't really have an answer for that just yet. Because well, what I'm thinking about right now, anyways, is like if I get a call from a client, it's like, hey, I had a closing coming up, and I had a refinance. Now things are changing about my business. I have multiple mortgages on it, and my current insurance company is declining the risk, and I need insurance for tomorrow, otherwise I'm losing my deposit or something. And then I'm a problem solver, so I solve these problems for my clients, and I find it hard because I need to hop onto that now. So I'm not too sure how to answer that question just yet. But I think I've solved a lot of the problems by virtue of time blocking.
Got it.
But there's still things I need to figure out.
Yeah, and I do think going back to like even just something as simple as like, priority, like that could be higher priority than what you're doing right now.
Right.
Where it's like if you have a client who you've been dealing with for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right? And this guy is like, yo, I need insurance fucking tonight.
Yeah.
Then that's high priority. You want to keep those guys happy because those are going to be your reoccurring people.
100%. Dude, it's totally true. And the reality is it's the 80-20 rule. So 80% of your income as a business is going to come from, well, I guess I can't say for all things, but at least in insurance, 80% of the revenue is coming from 20% of the clients. Similarly, 20% of your revenue is coming from the other 80%, right? And ironically, the 80% of your problems is coming from is not coming from that 20% of your good clients either, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, right? And you know, I've received calls from you before, right? Where you're just like, hey, dude, I
sure.
need this done, and you know, our companies have figured it out. When that happens, and when my good clients and my close friends are calling me about a problem, I do jump onto solving that problem. So it's hard to say, right? Like, what's the perfect answer? I don't know.
And I think, obviously, depending on where you're at in your business, like putting layers between you and that phone is probably going to be the most effective. Right?
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you have an assistant,
Right.
right, and your phone number from hours of, like, let's just say you need a time block from noon to 4 p.m. every day, and that's your time to do your work where you can't be bothered and you need to get the shit done, then that way, right, your assistant can be sorting out, okay, not an emergency, not an emergency, not an emergency. Fuck, this guy needs this right now.
Right.
Right? Comes knocks on your door, and you know that if she's coming to your door, he's coming to your door, then this is something that needs to be dealt with.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Because I think that's another thing too, where, and I'm going through that right now in my business, right? Where it's like you're creating layers now in your company.
Yep.
Right? Not to put distance between you and everybody, but to be able to be more effective, right? So then if like, for example, right, if I do not have to take a phone call, I don't want to take a phone call because I know that my time, and it's not a selfish thing, I know that my time is better used for everybody somewhere else.
It's very important that you said everybody, because the reality is, for example, if I get a call from a client that they need something, but I had an associate that can handle it, and in fact, it's going to be better for my client because I'm in the middle of a bunch of other shit that I'm solving, problems I'm solving, and I might not get to your problem until I got this other huge problem on my desk. But my associate, that's what they're there for, and they can handle this quicker, sooner for you and communicate with you faster, and then you get your service faster and in a better way.
For sure.
So it's better for everybody.
100%. And that's the other thing too about leadership is, like, you have to do what's best for the herd. You know, you have to do what's best for your people.
Right.
You know, and sometimes if we just put a microscope over one situation, you might be seen as selfish, or you might be seen as a dick, or you might be seen as all these certain names, right? But if we broaden up our lens and see as a whole over the course of the next 20 years, you know, like all these little micro situations where you could be seen as that, maybe you were in the background planning the next move for the whole team. Okay, we got to go here. We got to do this, right? And it's the same reason why in any military, as far as I'm concerned, known to man, right, there's layers.
Right.
There's layers, right? Because if, very important here, right? If, like, someone who's planning a mission, let's just say 500 years ago, you're raiding a village, right? 1,000 years ago, you're raiding a village.
Okay.
Right? And the guy who's planning it out has these fucking guys coming in and coming out and coming in and coming out and talking about some random shit that he doesn't really need to know right now. Right? He's going to fucking lose his track, you know, of what he's doing.
Yep.
And where certain men are going to go and where the positions are going to be. And if he makes a mistake, that could cost a lot of lives. You know?
Yep.
And so if he has somebody guarding his door or some type of person as a layer between that planning room and his people, right? Then he's going to minimize how many people knock on his fucking door asking stupid questions that he doesn't need to hear. and B, you also know that if somebody comes through that door, it's something you need to hear about right now.
Right.
Right? So there's two factors to that, right? Where it's the same thing in business, where you just don't simply need to know about certain things as a leader.
No.
Right? That's why you have people.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And the whole team has to be running effectively in order for you to do your job effectively, right? It works both ways.
Yep.
So that's something where, you know,
Dude.
I just find that to be true.
100%. Yeah. So that's very interesting, right? And you're at a stage now where you're saying you're not sure exactly, but you're over 10 anyways. You're like in your 20 or something, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting space to be in.
We're probably around 20. You know what I mean? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's an interesting space now where you are they're there to create these layers. So no, it's very interesting, man. But yeah, still, so okay, that's probably a good answer for that, right? Like if you have problems coming your way, you still need that layer in front of it just to filter out the majority of the problems that you don't need to worry about or don't need to hear about, and then the ones that you do, well, it's like okay, well, now there's a reason why my attention needs to be geared towards this right now.
For sure. And then also, I also think what's also important is like, even though, because I find it sometimes even for myself, and especially when you're just kind of getting started, get rolling, where you're going to find that maybe throughout a week, there's like fucking 30 things that are important, right? But we actually need to break those down into an order of operations, where I feel like a lot of people and like leaders will get all fucked up is when you have 30 tasks, 20 tasks, 40, 50 tasks that need to be done, and you can't conceptualize 50 things in your head. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, number one, write them down. Number two, sort them. What actually is priority here? What do I need to do right now?
Right.
And then typically, realistically, 50 problems come up in a week. 25 of those can be delegated right away. You don't even need to do them. And then the other 25 that need to get done by you, right? Then you can look through those and say, okay, boom, this needs to get done right now. This, and you make an order of operations, right? I feel like you have to be very organized, especially the less amount of layers between you and let's just say your product, the more organized you have to be.
Okay.
Right? Because you're going to hear about more things more often. Right? So if you got to take care of more things more often, you're going to need to be more organized.
Yeah.
Versus if you're only dealing with 25 things, then you don't have to be as organized, right? Which means you don't have to conceptualize a lot of shit.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of stuff that you're just trying to hold into your head.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I had to learn too, was like, just get it out of your head. Yeah. Like a lot of people, they just hold things in their head. Oh, I'm going to remember it. I'm going to remember it. I'm going to remember it. Right. And then it's like, okay, well, you also need to have a clear mind to make decisions throughout the day.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking and you're trying to remember fucking task number 19, but you're also trying to make a decision on a fucking $100,000 deal, $1 million deal. Like, are you really going to be thinking to your best?
Right.
Are you really going to be thinking 100%? Or are you going to be thinking about task 19 a little bit?
Dude. Yeah. 100%. It's one of those things you have no idea in the moment. And what I mean by that is like, you have no idea that you're not thinking clear in the moment, right? Like if you're not writing things down, you're not getting it out of your head. You have no idea how limited your ability is at that point.
For sure.
And I think that happens all the time, man. If you have too much things on your mind, you just can't make clear decisions. You're forgetting things. You're making more mistakes. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
100%. I want to ask you a question here, right? In the beginning, you said that there were some Bible stories that you said.
Yeah.
And you kind of saw them play out in your life and you understood the lessons that were being taught more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What's the most memorable one?
The most memorable one? That's
Yeah.
tough, man. That's tough.
Or what's one that just pops in your head that's like, this is crazy here?
Yeah, dude, there's so many of them. Have you ever heard of the story of Job?
No, tell me.
Okay, so this is an interesting story where he's essentially, it starts off where he's very wealthy. He's like the richest man in the city. He's got a lot of family. He's got a good wife, great children. He has everything, and then he gets he owns a lot of land with like lots of farmland. It's luscious and everything like that. And then a 7-year drought comes into his town. He loses everything. Some of his children die. Loses all of his wealth, everything. And the important thing was that when he was wealthy and he had everything, he had faith in God. He said, God's number one. God is he's the one who provides me with everything. He provides me with the path that I'm on. And when he loses everything, and he also gets sent to jail for something that he didn't do. In those moments, his faith in God gets tested, and he maintains faith in God. And all throughout it, he didn't change that. He didn't waver. He stuck to his guns. He stuck to his beliefs. And then after that 7-year trial and tribulation, he ends up getting all of his wealth back plus more. He gets everything back plus more. And I think that was a big thing that happened to me in my life, because I went through an ebb and flow of like net worth and business. Probably around just after COVID to. And then for a few years there, I lost a lot of my money, all this stuff. And I remember I had a decision where it's like, I could either blame this on like God or something like that, or I can maintain my faith in that I'm on the right path. I'm going to be successful. I am successful, and I'm happy and healthy. And I kind of just related that over to my life, and it helped me get through a lot of these tough times. And then I've come back with more. So I thought it was an interesting story that kind of just related to my life.
That is cool.
Yeah,
that is cool. And so when you were younger, like what were you? I know it was a long time ago, obviously, but what were you thinking about? Like, did you just kind of like, oh, cool story, throw it
right?
away?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right?
because you don't go through those situations when you're a child, right? I mean, maybe you do, but I didn't anyways. And so you don't think much of it, and you don't know how hard that would be in those situations, because I think it's kind of interesting too. It's a natural human behavior where in good times, it's almost like in good times, like, God's great, whatever, right? You don't really think much of it. But when you lose everything, now you're like begging for God to be on your side.
For sure.
And I think that's what I had thought at first. But the key is that is and I don't know if you believe in God or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I typically find that a lot of successful people do. And I think that faith in God helps you in so many different ways, that help you in your business, help you be the man that you are today, be as successful as you are, growing the way you are. I think that you have that faith to get you to where you are, and then if you happen to lose it, don't switch sides now. Maintain that same level of faith.
For sure.
And then the opposite is true too, where it's like if you don't think that God had anything to do with your success, and then you lose everything, and now you start begging for his grace, I think that's kind of like that's a misalignment of mentality and faith, something like that.
100%.
Yeah.
And I always too, like, I say this quite often, honestly, but whenever there's a problem that comes up, the first thing that I do is thank God, no matter how big or small.
Yes, very interesting. Yep.
Because when that happens, I truly believe that everything that I'm put through, painful or not, good and bad, right, is the test. It's a test.
Exactly.
Right? And so when you think of it like that, then I think it also gives you a little bit more comfort of like, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm going through some fucking shit right now, but I know that he's up there testing me right now because he wants to see what I'm made of.
100%. 100% what's going on.
And so that's where I find every problem that I get, I literally say that. I'm like, you know what I mean? Thank you, God, for this problem, because I know it's going to make me wiser and a better man.
Exactly.
And the other part of that too is like, that actually gives you, a lot of people I feel like look at problems the wrong way, where the problems that you have, or the things that you have to go through, or the shit that you've been through, right? That's literally just giving you more wisdom.
Yeah.
Right? To help more of God's creation, people,
Yes.
right? And you have that wisdom to be able to then go on and help somebody else, right? Because everyone is, like, life is so fucking intricate. It's crazy. Like, everyone lives slightly different lives. You could literally be like, my brothers have lived different lives than me.
Yep.
And I've lived different lives than my brothers. Right? And it's so interesting because they might have gone through something that they can help me with, and I've gone through something that I can help with them with. Right? So everybody, there's something to take from every single person's perspective and every single person's life. You know what I mean? Yep. And you just got to figure out what that is.
Yeah, extract the gold from it all.
100%, right? And so I feel like a lot of people look at problems as terrible things that happen, no matter how great they are, right? And I believe that everybody is going to go through shit their whole life, right? Like
Yeah.
like life just is painful. That is what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to live a great life, and I think actually Andrew Tate says it the best, where it's like if you just stop focusing on being happy and
yeah.
just start focusing on becoming great,
Yeah.
you just become happy in the end.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
people think of happiness as the product, but it's not. It's a byproduct,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Just like money.
Yes, exactly.
Money is a byproduct
Yep.
of your inputs in life.
Exactly.
And so when you start to think about this a little bit differently than what, let's just say, the average person would think about it, it becomes a lot more comforting even when you're going through problems, because you know, okay, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting smarter, I'm getting wiser, I'm going to be able to help more people.
Yep.
Right? And so this is going to give me like opportunity in the future to be able to, like, fucking, who knows, you know, mentor somebody, just help somebody on the fucking street. Somebody might text you and be like, hey, dude, have you ever been through this? Yeah, I have, actually. Here's what I did. You know, and you need to be able to go through this stuff, right? And I find, and I'm assuming you're probably going to agree, but I find most successful people that I've met, right, have been through some fucking shit in some regard, right?
Oh yeah.
And you have to.
It's inevitable.
You have to. And you also have to realize that every single business ever has gone through problems.
Yep.
Every single one, no matter how big, small, right? And the only reason why I think you can lose in business is just when you stop trying and you give up.
Yeah. You give into it.
Exactly, right?
Yep.
Obviously, there's going to be some crazy unforeseen shit, I'm sure, maybe in some cases. But for the majority of the problems, you stop trying to solve them.
Yeah.
Right? You conform. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, this is too big of a hill for me to climb.
Right.
Right? But even though the hill's fucking shit and it's going to be shitty and you're going to hate every second of it,
Yeah.
right? Like the rush once you get to the top of that hill, once you climb that hill, it's going to be fucking worth it,
100%.
you know?
I think you see that in working out even.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Right? Like even a cold plunge, for example. Like it sucks getting in there. It sucks sitting in there. But the amazing feeling afterwards is always worth it.
100%.
You always forget about it when you first start because you're just like, oh, I don't want to do this right now. And I'm freezing my ass off. But once you're done it, you will feel better. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, way better, right? And
Yeah.
I think well, actually, you know what? I want to ask this in form of a question right now. What do you think in terms of like obviously Instagram and fucking all this instant dopamine stuff that we have today? How do you think that affects the populace right now?
Oh, for sure, man. It's crazy. Well, it's also interesting that when you brought up, like, be mindful, anybody listening, for how we're talking about taking breaks in between your workload, but be mindful of what that break is, because a lot of people end up scrolling on Instagram. And I think an interesting thing that happens that we forget about is we think it's downtime, but you're still consuming energy. Like your mental power is being consumed by scrolling through TikTok and Instagram. So you might think you're taking a break and recharging, but you're not. You're actually getting more tired. And I think that's part of what we're doing. So we're just clicking the dopamine button, and we think we're resting, but we're not. And I think there's a misalignment of like the repercussions of what we're doing and what it is that we're actually doing. And yeah, it's an interesting time that we're in, right? We're just like chasing that constant dopamine.
How do you think that affects people?
Well, I think it just kind of lowers their attention span. I think I think it lowers your drive too. You know, but it's I don't know. It's an interesting thing, right? Sometimes I'm not like perfect, so I get caught scrolling on things too.
100%.
You know what I mean? And then, but it's scary, right? Like TikTok, like I could scroll on TikTok, and next thing you know, it's like 45 minutes gone. It's like, whoa, what was that? You don't even know what just happened.
Yeah, and you don't even remember fucking 90% of the videos.
You have no idea, right?
You don't even know what you just watched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just in this fucking black hole for 45 minutes. You know?
Like now, like the interesting thing about, like, so I do have TikTok, and I do scroll on it from time to time. You know, I'm not a saint, right? I'm not perfect, but I find that one of the excuses I give myself, kind of subconsciously, is that, yeah, but it's like, you know, it's like motivation, it's like informational, it's sales, it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, how much of that are you retaining? Like, I don't know.
How much are you retaining? And more importantly, this is really what got me, was not only what are you retaining, right? But what are you training your mind to do? Right? Are you training your mind to just all it needs to understand are just this small, like the attention span of a fucking like brick, you know? Like
Yeah.
all I need to do is just listen to this thing for 5 seconds. Boom, done. Or do you want to go on YouTube, put up a podcast, and you actually have to sit there and listen for 2 hours?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what do you find more effective, right? Because most tasks in the human life require more than 5 seconds of time,
Right. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so that's where it's like, what is more applicable to life, right? Is it sitting down with a fucking notebook or even, you know what, not even the notebook. Just sit down and just listen to something for 2 hours.
Right.
Right? And I find that, like, even myself, right? I'm the same way. I'm not fucking perfect, right? Some podcasts, I get fucking bored, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that is going to be a way better alternative than just these 5, 10, 15 second fucking little videos,
Yep.
you know? And you can say that all day long. You can say, you know what I mean, it's motivation, it's this, it's that, it's fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, if you actually were trying to learn something legit,
Right.
you would have a notebook out,
Yeah.
right? You would sit
good
down and you would actually make it out of your day to learn this thing,
Yes. Yeah.
right? If you actually wanted to learn,
Right.
right? Or do you just want to distract yourself? Because those are two very different things.
Yes. And that's all it is distraction.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Which, on the other half of that, it's potentially, I want to say this very clearly, social media is not good, but it's also good for people like us because the competition just gets fucking weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. Like, if
is what it is,
I
yeah.
know that my competition is going to be, you know what I mean, fucking 3 to 6 hours of Instagram a day, screen time a day. Fuck me, dude. Like, you're doing a full fucking McDonald's shift on your phone.
Oh man.
You know, that's great. Great for me.
Yeah,
You know,
good for you.
because I'm going to fucking kill you 10 times out of 10. You know, like,
Yeah, and that's a big thing too, right? Like, and that's what Andy Elliott says too, right? It's like produce, not consume. So produce content on Instagram, on social media, but don't consume it. And so it's an interesting dynamic, right?
which there is an opposing side to that, I think, where it's like, to some degree, there is some legitimacy behind seeing what other people are also doing with their social media. Like, if you use it for I'm going to go to this page, I'm going to watch a couple of videos because I want to see what their style is. What are they doing? You know what I mean, what are they doing that works?
Yeah.
How many views do they have on this
studying them,
video,
yeah.
right? But at the same time, 99.9% of people are not doing that, right?
No.
They're just going to the feed, you know what I mean? And you know what, though, is that fucking Instagram is insanely smart, right? And I honestly haven't had TikTok for probably a year now,
Oh, nice.
but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just like auto scrolls for you. Does it not? Or do you actually still have to scroll it?
I think you still have to. You're pretty sure you still
Does
have to
it
scroll
does it auto scroll?
YouTube.
Oh,
Shorts?
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, okay,
YouTube
yeah.
Shorts.
Yeah.
So it's automatically fucking scrolling.
Helping you get to the next. Yeah.
You don't
yeah.
even, dude. It doesn't get any easier.
So you just sit there and not.
You just
scroll.
sit there, you know, and it just moves, right?
Oh,
at least TikTok and fucking Instagram, you at least got to move your finger,
Yeah, you got to do something.
you know. but yeah, these guys have that shit dialed in, man. It's
They're
crazy.
smart, eh? Yeah.
It is insane. It is
Dude.
insane. And especially it's crazy too, because one thing that in the beginning, which I think they've changed now, is taking away the time from the top bar.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, it's just
we're
like a
like-
casino. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, you just don't have any conceptualization of time. There's nothing to look at. You're just looking at the video.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, the whole screen is the video now. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, right? We're like, that's fucking crazy.
Dude, it is,
That's
man.
crazy.
It's just like the what's it called? The casino, man, cuz they remove clocks in there for a reason. They keep it nice and bright and remove windows for a reason, so you have no
sure.
idea what time it is outside. And then you're just in this like trap, in this constant trap.
Get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, you get lost, man. So
It's fucking
very-
sad.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Have you ever gone to casino and gambled and stuff?
Oh, of course, yeah.
What's your game?
When we went there, well, actually, you know what? The only casino that I've ever been to is actually in Vegas.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've never walked foot into any other casino other than Vegas.
Yeah, just because you're in Vegas, right? You had to, right?
Yeah, or actually, no, sorry. And I was in Niagara one time.
Niagara Falls, yeah, yeah.
So Niagara and then Vegas. I went last year. I went to Vegas. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so went to the casino there, and yeah, we were just fucking like, I lost like $30 in like 10 seconds. And I was like, this is fucking retarded. You know? Like,
Not interested in doing this.
no, I was like, fuck that.
Dude, yeah, it's one of those things where I don't really get it myself. Yeah. But I remember one time I lost, like, dude, so I went in with $1,000. I was with a buddy, and he was just like, dude, if you just follow the blackjack things, like, they give you, like, suggestions or something based off of statistics or something. And he's like, if you just do that, you end up winning. Ended up going down $800, but I did make it back over time, and then I made 200, and then I just got out after that, and I haven't gambled since.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
I just think, dude, like, honestly, like, you're fucking, dude, your life is a big ass gamble, really.
Yeah.
Everything in life is gambling. You're just gambling smart with information, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, why gamble? Like, I'm gonna place bets on fucking myself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for example, right? Very basic thing is like, I'm gonna place a bet on myself by going and, I don't know, fucking buying supplements, right? Betting that I'm gonna use them to become bigger, better, faster, stronger,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Or I'm gonna bet on myself and go and pay to go use a cold plunge because I need to recover, betting that I'm gonna go to the gym for the next week.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So it's more or less like educational betting
Yeah, yeah.
versus like you're gonna bet on, you know what I mean, like the Queen of Hearts or something. Like,
Well, you're also betting on a guaranteed loss. Like, you might win this bet, but over the long period of time, if you just stayed in a casino for a week, like, you're gonna lose. Like, the house always wins.
for sure,
It's
yeah.
just a matter of time.
And I like playing poker. You know what I mean?
I like poker.
I think
Yeah,
poker's fucking deadly. I think it's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
But at the same time, like, I'm not going in there with the mentality of like I'm fucking winning everything. Like, I know I'm losing my money. You know, like, it's more or less like I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna put $50 on the table, and then I'm gonna have 3-4 hours of entertainment.
yeah. And also, like, well, the key is that, like, you're okay with losing that money,
For sure, yeah.
right? Like, you've
big
put the
thing.
$50 down, you're okay with it, whatever. I get competitive with poker. I'm like, I'm gonna win this shit. But, like, also, it's just like it's just a fun thing to do.
For sure.
You know, we played poker in Arizona.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was fun.
We did, yeah.
Yeah,
That
we
was
gotta run it
crazy.
back. Yeah, we got to run it back.
Yeah, we gotta get all the boys together and do that shit again.
Yeah, so
was
much fun,
crazy.
man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably fucking rally the troops and get down there again before the year's over.
Well, I think it's like I said, like I still have a ticket for this year, so I'm down for like you said, it was December, November time.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, December would be perfect because that's when it's like starting to get cold. Then we can go down to Arizona, and it's probably a little bit cooler down there too than rather than the summer. Because that was deadly, dude. I remember, I remember specifically. There was we were all it was the sickest thing. It was like I think it was the first full day that we had there. So we flew in, we had the night, the first full day. It was in the morning, and it was a weekday, and everybody's working. Like, that's why I value being in this, like, in this friend group, because nobody was fucking around. We're in Arizona, whatever, but it's not, we didn't come here to just drink and party. We came here to get shit done. And so everybody was on their laptop, everybody's working. And I remember you went up to the roof.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that
And
was
then,
the
dude-
worst decision I ever made.
It was too, because I remember going up there. I'm like, dude, this is fucked. Like, this is so hot up here. And then I was like, whatever, man. You do you. And you're just sitting there like on your live stream or something, or you're doing some type of call.
Yeah.
And then like 10 minutes later, you came downstairs. You're like, dude, my laptop just crashed.
Dude, it was so
It
fucking
was
hot.
so hot up there. Yeah.
It was so fucking hot
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like, and it didn't help too that like when you walk up these fucking stairs to the
It was like all metal.
It's literally all metal, so it's like a massive, like you're sitting in like a fucking massive metal bowl with like fucking 60 degrees fucking sun.
Yeah.
And so everything's reflective. Like,
Yeah.
I come down after 10 minutes, I'm fucking like neon red.
You were red, bro.
Yeah, my laptop's fucking done, you know? But it was
You're like, I was just
fucked.
trying to get some sun, but yeah.
It was crazy, dude.
were a
Yeah,
lobster,
I
remember
remember
that.
that. That was fucked.
Yeah. You came down. You got sunburned, I think, from that, right?
Oh, fuck, yeah.
And it wasn't even that
Big
long.
time. No, it was like literally 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was 15 minutes. Yeah, because I was on a call for trade launch, I think, maybe.
I think so. Yeah, that
I
makes
was,
sense.
I was on,
yeah.
I was on a
You
call.
and Justin were on a call for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on a call for trade launch, and like I was just getting fucked. You know? Like honestly, like I just felt like from every angle, like I felt like I was sitting in like a sauna.
Bro, that's so crazy.
It was insane. And then
Yeah.
my laptop died in like 10 minutes. And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck.
Yeah, see, the thing with Arizona was that it was like you want heat, you love it, but you actually can't mess around with it.
No, you can't. It is different out there.
Yeah, it's actually
It is different.
You do need to be careful.
Yeah, even running, man. Like we ran like last night, we ran fucking 3K.
Fucking right.
And like I was gassed. Like I'm not a huge runner, right? But like Arizona 3K,
yeah,
fuck.
I
Like
remember that.
you are legitimately like fighting for your life in the last like 500 meters.
Yeah, and they
You know?
they lined it up so it was kind of late.
Yeah, it was late. It was after we already did a massive hit workout.
What did we do that day? We did something. Yeah, no,
No, because that was actually the first day of the event. Because we got there. Remember we did that big fucking hit workout? We were doing like all these fucking frog jumps and push-ups and
that's right.
sit-ups
Yes,
and
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
sprints and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, all right, everybody, let's go for this small 3K run. And you're running up this fucking hill, half the
Yeah.
size of the Grand Canyon, in fucking 60 degrees.
Just in the middle of the desert, bro.
Dude, literally, like, all you see is cactuses, is fucking road runners. Like, it's like, it was fucked.
Dude, it's also a vibe though. Yeah, all the cactuses. And
It was
everything.
sick, though.
Yeah.
Did you ever see a road runner?
I don't remember if I
Dude,
did.
I legit thought that was a fake-ass animal.
Yeah,
I
it
was
just a
I was
cartoon,
dead
right? Yeah.
convinced. And then fucking, I remember I went down there and Brendan's like fucking with me. He's like, dude, make sure you watch out for these fucking road runners. And I'm like, I'm looking for this massive ostrich type thing, you know? And he like points one out to me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It was like a squirrel or
dude,
something.
it was like half the size of a squirrel.
Oh, really?
And it just runs around like a little, like, it's like a lizard standing up.
Oh,
Honestly.
really?
And it fucking, runs
on-
fast, I guess. I don't know.
Just on its 2 feet. I don't know if I remember seeing a road runner necessarily.
Yeah, they're always, you know those I don't even know what they're called, but you know those like fucking weird fucking bushes that they have down there? They're kind of like orange brown ish.
Okay, yeah.
It's like these weird bushes, but there's fucking shitloads around there. If you start to look, like next time you go down there,
That's where they'll stay.
100%, yeah.
Oh,
They
okay,
build a
yeah.
little fucking Roadrunner clan under there, and
Roadrunner clan. Hey, dude, you know what though? I'm actually so excited to go back because Arizona is a vibe. I could move down there.
100%.
Like what the?
Arizona by far, like I haven't traveled fucking much. You know what I mean? We did a lot of traveling last year, but so far for where I've been, and at least in North America,
Yeah,
like Arizona is definitely a spot where I could picture myself chilling out.
100%. Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
Like
I can see
and especially if you have your business to the point where it's you know what I mean, mostly remote, and like let's just say worst case scenario, you fly back every other week for a
Right.
day.
Sure.
You know, like realistically, it's like what 4.5, 5 hour plane ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you fly down there, you stay there for the weekend in Canada, come back. It is nice as fuck down there. And
It's beautiful.
The gym, Lifetime Fitness.
Lifetime Fitness.
Holy shit.
Hey, did you know that there's a couple in Toronto?
Is there?
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah, I went.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a sweet ass gym. It's way better, and the Arizona one was nicer though.
Dude, yeah, the AZ one was nuts.
Yeah.
Same thing with that breakfast place. What a great spot for that place.
Yeah.
Dude, we had breakfast there every single day.
Dude, the brightest orange eggs. Like
It was crazy.
You know that's a good quality egg when, eh? And yeah, good steak. Like it
Yeah,
was
Captain Crunch protein shakes.
Captain Crunch protein shake. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
those
had
were
like these-
nuts.
yeah, they had these
Like
these different
cereal
flavors.
style fucking
Yeah.
protein shakes. Those were crazy.
Crazy good, man. What a vibe.
Yeah, and that was dope too, because where we were staying as well, like fucking pool table,
Yeah.
like
yeah, we gotta get that
fucking
spot
sick
again.
house. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, so much fun, man.
It was dope. And yeah, I feel like especially when you go down there, because all of us were just fucking so dialed in
Yeah.
to what we were doing, like it just ended up being so dope.
Yeah.
Because it was like everybody was on the same fucking wavelength. You know what I
Yep.
mean? We were all down to go out and work out, all down to eat properly, all
Yep.
down to fucking, you know what I mean?
Work on the business.
100%.
Still do our thing, you know?
And that's the cool thing too, where it's like vacation doesn't necessarily mean fucking shut off your phone.
Yeah.
You know, you're just in a different area operating remotely.
Dude, I don't know about you, but I enjoy it. I don't know. Like I don't want to just be on vacation and just like be out of sight of everything else in the world. I
No,
want
dude,
to still close deals.
I get bored as fuck,
Yeah. I want to still close deals.
for sure. And that's something too where I feel like that's just kind of like innate in most of us, where
Mm-hmm.
it's like you can't just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like you're just not built to do that.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
Nor do you find like satisfaction or happiness in doing so.
Yeah. And I think well, the reality is we all have huge goals.
Massive.
And you're not going to get there without putting that activity in,
For sure.
right?
Yeah, you remember when we were playing fucking that crazy game in the pool?
Oh,
What
like,
was that? With
like
the
tackle,
No, what-
tackle basketball or something.
It was like fucking. We were doing like some fucking fried shit. The only reason why I remember this is because, oh, you know what it was? I think it was like that like copycat game where like someone has to like do a crazy trick with the basketball.
Oh, cat
And then
or something, right?
you gotta
Yeah.
fucking like repeat it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I remember fucking. I think it was Ricardo, that fucking guy, and he like jumps like legit like fucking 10 feet across the pool. Like it was like a run.
Oh, from
then-
the side of the pool,
Yeah, and then jump like basically the length of the pool almost, right? Not
Yeah.
lengthwise, but widthwise.
Yeah.
And fucking dunk this ball.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker was hard as fuck.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
got hops. He's got hops.
yeah.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Because he's El Salvadorian too.
Yeah.
And we always laugh about it. Him and his brothers are like the tallest El Salvadorians I know.
Really?
Yeah, because El Salvadorians are like historically short, right? So it's funny because they're like the only El Salvadorians I know that can dunk.
That's
I'm pretty sure Ricardo
hilarious.
can dunk a real net.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Holy
I'm
shit.
pretty sure, or at least his brothers, because his brother is actually like, his brother's got like some type of hearing disability, and so he's actually in like Team Canada basketball for like
Damn.
for disabled the disabled team anyways. But he's
Holy
just a
shit.
massive tall dude, and he's just got a hearing disability.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like his family's like tall and like they can dunk and shit.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's so funny. We always laugh about it. But dude, where else have you traveled?
Let's see. Fucking well, Arizona. We went down there 4 times last year. Yeah. Vegas. Fucking California.
Okay,
San
yeah.
Diego.
San Diego's nice.
San Diego.
I like San Diego.
Did you like it?
I liked it. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's not like I'm gonna move there because I the whole California thing.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with the people there.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah, at San Diego.
Yeah.
I like San Diego. I don't really care for LA. You know, I have family in LA though, so I love my family. But yeah, like just huge homeless encampments and everything like that. It's a mess, right?
In LA?
In LA, it is. Yeah. But
Fuck.
San Diego, I vibed with though. It was pretty decent.
Yeah, dude, we came back. This is actually kind of a funny story. So, we're coming back from, I don't know if it was San Diego or Arizona or, I don't know. We were down in the States somewhere, right?
Okay.
So, we had a connecting flight from, I think it was Arizona. I think it was one of the times we went down there. We had a connecting flight from Arizona to, I want to say Missouri, but I know it's not Missouri. Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah.
Minnesota. So we had a connecting flight. So we were going to go from Arizona to Minnesota back home, right
Okay.
to Toronto. So we're like our flight from Arizona to Minnesota was like pretty fucking delayed. You know, like
Okay.
typically already it was kind of a tight timeline. Like the turnaround in Minnesota was like 50 minutes, right? From the time that you land to the time, and then you got to get off the plane, find your fucking gate, get to the next plane.
Yeah.
Right. You got like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So the plane from Arizona to Minnesota was delayed like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So we had like half an hour by the time the plane touches the ground
To get to the next one.
to get to the next plane.
Oh man.
So there's people being like, okay, like if you miss your, like you can hear it on the comms or whatever on the plane. They're like, hey, anybody traveling on XYZ, whatever, if you miss your plane, then obviously we're going to fucking pay for a hotel and get you set up because of our
okay.
delay or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Justin and I are both we both kind of talk about it and we're both kind of in agreement that like, fuck, like if we miss the plane, like it's not gonna be the end of the world, but we're gonna try and make it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we found out in Minnesota, they have the second or third biggest mall in the world.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like, oh, we'll check it out.
So
Whatever.
we're like, yeah, we'll go to the fucking, you know what I mean, third biggest mall in the world and, you know what I mean, buy some shit that we don't need. So,
But do something. Yeah.
100%. So we're there and they're all like, we're like, fuck, like, we're probably going to miss our flight, but we're not actually that mad. We get off the plane and we're like, well, we may as well just go try and fucking make it,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So we fucking like rip down the gate. And now after we've got off the gate, we're legitimately like, okay, we're definitely missing this plane. Like, we're just going to chill here for the day.
Okay.
you know? So we get down there and we actually see, like, we actually didn't miss it. Like, we could have got on and we were just like, okay, let's just like play stupid and like fuck off for a bit.
Oh, you did that, eh?
And then we'll go to the lady and go get our free hotel and fucking all this shit.
Okay.
So we literally, like, purposely, dude, it was so fucking stupid, but we literally purposely fucked around in the airport just long enough that you can see on the TVs, like, when the gate's closing or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we just literally, like, put on our fucking acting hats. We're, like, walking there. We're like, hey, we definitely missed it. Okay, now let's run and pretend like we just fucking missed our flight.
Yeah, yeah.
So we get down to the gates and we're like, oh, fuck, really? We missed our flight?
Really?
It's fucking terrible. And so we go back to the lady and we get set up there. And it was dope, man. We got a really nice fucking hotel.
Really?
Yeah, really nice hotel.
Okay.
Fucking stayed there for the day. Went to the fucking this sick mall. Best steakhouse I've ever been to in my life.
Okay, so it was worth it.
100%.
Okay, that's pretty sweet then.
But it was
you
just
tried
funny
somewhere else.
because we definitely could have fucking got on that plane for sure. And then finally, by the time we talked about it, we were like, "Hey, we're definitely gonna miss it, and we're gonna play this off like we fucking missed it."
Right, yeah.
You know,
Like,
And,
fuck it, let's take advantage
yeah,
of this.
dude. It was sick though.
Dude, that happened to me, Ricardo, and Coca in Arizona.
Oh yeah, because you guys left a little bit later.
Yeah,
didn't
we
you?
left. Our flights were scheduled for the next day, and then it got delayed like another day and a half. Like we didn't leave till like 2 days later, basically. But it was pretty dope because we just enjoyed Arizona. Went to Lifetime.
Yeah.
Enjoyed.
Well, the hotel that you guys were in for the last couple of days, that was right across the street, wasn't it? From Lifetime? Or no?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So I remember swinging by there. I don't know if we were dropping you off or what, but
Oh, is that what it was? You swung by there, eh?
I don't know. I just remember being like at the hotel right kind of near Lifetime. I don't know if it's directly across the street, but
I'm wondering if we got the hotel. No, because no, because we left the Airbnb the day you guys
yes.
left.
Yeah.
So you guys just dropped us off at the hotel,
Yeah.
and then we just went across the street, went to Lifetime.
Yeah, probably
then-
ate breakfast 2 more times there.
Yeah, bro, it was great. We were loving it.
Yeah, the breakfast there is unbelievable.
Like,
And didn't you guys run a pod with fucking Scotty?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, Scott
Scotty's good shit,
Tregellis
too. Yeah, he's a
and
beauty.
and Robert Wensley.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
nice. That's
yeah.
fire.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool, man. That was a really cool vibe because you have this guy that's like running a huge company.
What company does he own?
He so Credit Lift.
Yeah,
Credit
okay.
Lift, and I'm forgetting the other name. It's Credit Lift and something else Lift. He's got like 2 different companies going, and just a massive company. He had this badass condo in Arizona, and so the one obviously the one wall is just all windows, right? And the cool thing is you have this like pretty sweet setup that he had. Robert Lindsay had this setup already ready for it.
Oh, for the pod.
Yeah. He just had like all this equipment. He's like, yeah, we'll just set up our shit.
Wow.
So we get there, it's all shit set up, and you have the 6 setup pod set up, and you're just watching the set, and in the background there's just there's a small airport that's only got private planes, and you're just watching these private jets fly in and fly out in
That's
the
dope.
background. It was so sick
As the pod's going on.
as the pod's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It's one of
dude.
those vibe moments where you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fire.
cool, man.
Well, Scottsdale, because when we left, we fucking figured that out. That Scottsdale is like one of the highest capitas of millionaires.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
It's like
Seriously.
1 in every 10 or 11 is a millionaire. And you're just like, that's fucking sick, man.
Crazy. Yeah. The
Scottsdale in a whole though is so sick.
so sick. Yeah.
Like
yeah,
just the houses there, like through it almost looks like fucking. Like what I could like kind of like Beverly Hills, where it's just hilly, but there's like
Yeah.
fucking houses built into the rock.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of sick.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like, how the hell are they even building these houses like this?
Yeah, because it's kind of it's not really mountains. I don't think I would say
It's just hills.
It's just like fucking not Ontario. I don't know, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
not
it's not
that-
just straight flat.
yeah, exactly.
It's like everything's got hills to it, and like I don't know if you remember, but like going down to the Elliott fucking HQ.
Yep.
It was like you have to go over, and we were going there at like 5 a.m. and shit too, right? So like
Yeah.
you catch the sunrise,
Yeah.
and you're going down this massive fucking hill, and it's just like you have the sunrise up here, and you're on top of the fucking hill. Everything else is lower than you, and you just see this massive fucking desert like ahead of you with all these crazy houses in the fucking mountain.
Crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and these, and from the distance you're just seeing these mansions in the hills.
Yeah, no, 100%.
How are they even building that?
I know that shit was fucking sick.
Yeah, so cool, man.
That was.
Arizona's a vibe.
Next time you go though, you got to find a road runner.
Yeah, I'm going.
Honestly.
Well, we'll go this time in December or whatever, man. We got to
Seriously,
get the
though.
crew going. Because I think, I don't know, you said you went 4 times. Did you use up that second ticket already?
No, I think I used it on Connor, my sales rep. I think I sent him. Or
Oh,
wait,
okay,
no,
right
'cause-
on.
no, sorry, because he sat in the Brotherhood section at that point. So I think I might still have it, actually.
Okay.
Because I called Brendan and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna send my guy down there." So he actually got to sit in the Brotherhood section, which is dope for him.
What?
Yeah, he got a pretty sick experience down there.
No way, dude.
Yeah,
So Brendan kind of like hooked you up with something, eh?
yeah,
Yeah, okay. That's amazing, man. That's
Yeah.
what he's a good connection to have.
great dude. He's a great dude.
Great dude, man. I mean, like, I look forward to seeing him again because he's inspirational. 'Cause
He
he's
is.
crushing it.
He is. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a
It's
stud.
amazing, man.
Hey, by the way, too, I don't know what you're doing Monday, but Monday we're STA, the high school.
Okay, yeah.
But there's a high school here. And
Oh,
if
you guys
want-
doing? I've seen you guys do like
Mike
meets.
Murphy?
You guys doing a Murph?
Mike Murphy challenge? Yeah.
Okay.
You want to
okay.
come out?
I'm going to Cottage Sunday,
Are you?
but my timing is not solid right now. Like in terms of if I'm going to go Sunday night or maybe I'm going later on in the week.
Okay.
If I don't go Sunday night or Monday,
Okay.
I'm 100% down.
Okay, cool.
I'd love to do a Murph. You do it with a vest?
No vest. No vest. We kind of modify it a little bit. So it's 1.6K, 200
Okay.
push-ups, 300 sit-ups, 400 squats, and then another 1.6.
Okay.
So mile, all these fucking like
Dude,
push-ups,
I'll
sit-ups.
challenge you to do the 100 chin-ups instead of the squats.
Instead of the squats?
Yeah.
Are you coming? I'll take that bet if you come.
Dude, yeah, I'll call you. Like if I can confirm that I can come.
Yeah.
If I'm not taking off.
I'll do it on the fucking what are they
Bleachers.
called? Oh, the bleachers may be true.
Yeah, you just do it on the
Is
back
there
of the
bleachers there? No, there's not.
Oh, there's not, eh?
Oh yeah, you can do it on the uprights. Soccer post. You could do the soccer post. Yeah, we could do it on the soccer post.
Yep.
But yeah, no, 100%. I'll sub the fucking squats for chin-ups any day.
Let's fucking go.
For sure.
You got a massive back, so I know you can do it.
Yeah, fucking trying, dude. Fuck.
Dude, I remember at the gym, you actually taught me something at the gym too, because I didn't realize this, but I was doing this thing where I was like kind of pushing my like stomach into the bar,
Yep.
thinking like that I'm getting more of a contraction, but you stay forward, eh?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you like lean into it.
Yeah. The other thing too is like there's a superset that I fucking love where if you're doing like normal cable rows, and you can do it with like a wide grip or a narrow grip, whatever you want.
Yep.
But you stay straight up, right? Instead of bringing your stomach to it, you just stay straight up and you pull it to your belly button. And then once you get fatigued enough where you're pretty much at failure,
Yep.
then you lean all the way forward and you just stretch out
Yeah.
your lat. And then it's just a small motion, but you're still engaging that lat. And so that will take you to a whole different fucking level for sure.
Right. You start feeling your lat engaging and stretching and
Yeah,
burning.
it feels
eh?
like me and Paul actually just fucking did that right there. It feels
Yeah?
like your
Was it
your
good?
fucking your
Shit.
lat's gonna rip from your fucking bone.
I'm down to give that a shot.
But
man.
yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no,
great.
we got to rip another back day actually,
100%.
because that's been a while now, man.
Yeah, I
we
know.
ripped one with me, you, Justin, and Amar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That Lions Den workout was nuts too.
Yeah, that's tons of fun, man.
That was.
Yeah,
Yeah, any
sick.
fucking last words to the boys?
Not much, man.
Viewers, the people?
You know what, man? We talked about a lot of different things.
I know. We were kind of all over the place on this one. That's all right.
Yeah, but it's all right, whatever, right? But honestly, I think biggest thing that I can remember, because just sitting down with you again, just having the right crew of guys around you, proximity's power. You will be like who you're around. So
For sure.
you're around 5 losers, you're gonna be the 6th. You're around 5 winners, you're gonna be the 6th. So either and it's one of those things where it's like so Andy Elliott says is like if you work for me, either one of two things are gonna happen. Either you're gonna quit or you're gonna stay and you're gonna get rich. And it's just about sticking with the right people, man.
That's fire.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, whoever you're around is who you're going to become, 100%. But I appreciate you coming on, brother. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, brother. Cheers.